Water is the softest and most yielding substance. Yet nothing is better than water for overcoming the hard and rigid, because nothing can compete with it. Lao Tzu. Many people's thinking is limited by their inflexible mindset. They often use simple categories and set ideas to make sense of the world, which can help them deal with its complexity. However, this rigid way of thinking can also be harmful. It can make us see the world in black and white and trap us in our preconceived notions of how things should be. Since the world is constantly changing and is more intricate than we can fully understand, it's better to have a flexible and practical approach to life. This allows us to adapt and move with the changes, similar to how water flows. The ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu, in his famous book Tao Te Ching, praises the virtue of being adaptable. He challenges the common belief that being strong means being unyielding. Instead, he suggests that true strength lies in being flexible and open to change, much like water. This idea is a core part of Taoist thought, which values harmony with the natural world and recognizes that nature's processes are vast and varied. The universe operates on a principle of balance between two opposing forces, which results in constant change. Through the perspective of Taoism, we can observe these forces in nature as yin, feminine, and yang, masculine. Yang represents active qualities such as speed, energy, and assertiveness, but also rigidity and dryness. Yin, on the other hand, embodies passive qualities like quietness, openness, and softness. Our society often values yang qualities more, emphasizing the importance of being fast, strong, and competitive, and often resisting change instead of adapting to it.
The qualities of yin, which include openness and adaptability, are often undervalued. People may think that being open to new ideas or changing your mind is a sign of weakness. Alexander Hamilton once said that if you don't stand firm for your beliefs, you could easily be swayed by anything. While this has some truth, being too inflexible can be limiting. Just like a dead branch that snaps in the wind, being unwilling to adapt can make us brittle and unyielding. In contrast, water is a great example of resilience. It adapts to its container, whether it's forming waves in the ocean or fitting the shape of a glass. This shows the strength in being adaptable and able to change. Water's behavior changes with the temperature. It turns into vapor when heated and solidifies when frozen. This ability to adapt helps water endure various conditions. Similarly, the flexibility of water symbolizes strength in living things, making them more capable of withstanding changes. Lao Tzu, an ancient philosopher, expressed this idea by saying that life is characterized by softness and flexibility, while rigidity is a trait of death. Living plants are supple and soft, but dead ones are hard and breakable. Things that are brittle and inflexible tend to break easily, just like something that's dead or has no life. This idea also applies to people with rigid and unyielding mindsets. Such individuals often struggle with change because they prefer stability and certainty over the unpredictable nature of change. However, change is a constant part of life. Nothing stays the same forever. Life itself is defined by change. If everything were permanent and unchanging, it wouldn't really be alive. Therefore, resisting the natural flow of change is futile and exhausting. Life is full of changes, both big and small, and being open to them is a part of living. Life is like a river that flows smoothly, adapting to every twist and turn. Small changes in our lives are like the river's gentle curves, while big changes are like a sudden shift in its path. Even facing the end, the river doesn't struggle, it just blends into the ocean. Similarly, we go through life, navigating around obstacles and embracing changes, big or small, without resistance, even death. But also, when we'd be contained, like water being kept in a jar, we'd just be still and be the jar until our circumstances change. Lao Tzu argues in the Tao Te Ching that the soft overcomes the hard. He takes water as a metaphor for this assertion. Water is soft and flexible, but also has the power to erode the hardest materials like rock and metal. I quote, "Everyone knows that the soft and yielding overcomes the rigid and hard, but few can put this knowledge into practice. To embody the qualities of water, we should learn how to achieve our goals with gentleness rather than force." Taoism teaches us the value of effortlessness and letting things happen naturally. While there are times when force is necessary, often a gentle and patient approach is more effective. It leads to better outcomes over time, conserves our energy, and helps us stay calm and peaceful. The movie Shawshank Redemption illustrates how patience and subtlety can be more effective than force. Andy Dufresne, the main character, is wrongfully imprisoned but doesn't resort to aggression. Instead, he uses his long-term thinking and knowledge from his banking and geology interests to plan his escape. He gains the prison warden's trust and secures privileges, including funding for a library, by persistently writing letters. After 19 years, he escapes through a tunnel he secretly dug, hidden behind a poster. His escape is dramatic, involving crawling through a sewer and exposing the warden's corruption before fleeing to Mexico. Andy's story shows that a gentle, calculated approach can overcome even the toughest barriers. He didn't avoid using force, he just waits for the perfect moment to use it, which he prepares for with 19 years of patience. Being like water means we can adjust to various situations and find the good in them, just as calm water lets the dust settle and become clear, and flowing water travels and supports life along its path. We too can find clarity and purpose in the different phases of our lives. In our society, which focuses on action and achievement, we often value only the part of life that's about getting things done quickly and successfully. We're judged by what we do, our jobs, wealth, and accomplishments, rather than who we are. Traits like being unproductive, unintelligent, unattractive, or poor are seen as negative. However, if we learn to be flexible and look for the good in the bad, we'll find that even these less desired traits can have their own benefits. It's all about how you look at things. Being poor might mean fewer worries about money and possessions, and not being conventionally attractive could mean people appreciate you for who you are, not just your appearance. There's a Taoist story about a tree that was so twisted and different from the straight trees that it was considered worthless for lumber. But then Zhuangzi, a Taoist philosopher, pointed out that the tree's unique shape made it a perfect spot to rest. Because it was overlooked for its wood, it grew old and large, and eventually became a cherished and sacred place. This story illustrates that what may seem like a disadvantage can actually be a hidden blessing. The story suggests that the tree's unusual shape, which made it useless for timber, actually allowed it to live a long life. While being seen as useless might not earn praise and can lead to criticism, it also means having fewer worries and a more peaceful life. There's always something good in what seems bad. Water, for example, flows into low places that others avoid, yet it makes the best of these situations. Life is about being flexible, which is a form of strength because flexible things can adapt without breaking, unlike stiff and brittle things. The gentleness of water can wear away even the hardest rock over time. The quote from the actor and martial artist Bruce Lee encourages us to be adaptable and create our own path, just like water does. He suggests that this adaptability is what allows us to grow and thrive. Thank you for watching.